Hey, and here's a fun fact about this. You and I watched this in the theaters together right here in this town. Know that?
I was gonna say that we watched at the town theater
Okay.
in Florida, Illinois, together, and I remember that because we walked out,
Yep.
and we were pretty young, and I remember you saying it was your favorite movie, which, I'm not gonna shit on that because I liked Batman and Robin when it came out, so and that came out after this, so yeah,
I did too.
yeah, it was really good compared to video game movie standards at the time. So what came out before this?
Even now, a lot of people still hold this in high regard as one of the best video game adaptations ever made.
Well, I mean, what came out before this though? Like Super Mario Brothers,
Super Mario Brothers,
Street Fighter,
let's see, Street Fighter,
Double Dragon.
oh yeah, Double Dragon. Hang on. There's like video game like The Wizard. That was video game adjacent though.
Yeah,
It wasn't like an adaptation of a property. But I mean, my bigger point to that though is that it still look at movies that came out after it that were video game movies that fucking sucked. Like Doom and Well, a lot of people like that first Resident Evil movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but you could have called it any the fuck thing else, and I would have liked it better.
Same
You know what
director
I
as
mean?
Mortal Kombat, Paul
Exactly.
W.S. Anderson.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson.
when's the last time you watched this? Then, you think?
I think it's probably been about 15 years.
Damn. Yeah.
I may have watched it when it was on like TNT playing or something,
Mm-hmm.
but it was never a movie I would like turn off. I've never watched the sequel because I remember
Oh
you
yeah.
literally. Let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
You fucking called me when you still lived on Vincennes because you rented Annihilation. And you were basically telling me in real time while you were watching how fucking terrible that movie. You go, yeah, I'll never forget. I'll never forget your words. What? You go, this is what I hear on the phone. What the fuck? Well, Johnny Cage is dead.
Джонни!
Yep. Well, I was originally watching this because the new Mortal Kombat's coming out in October. Well, it got pushed back to May now.
It just got delayed.
Yeah, but this just celebrated the 30th anniversary, so I figure we just go ahead and watch it anyway. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have us both suffer annihilation when it gets closer to the release of the next one.
I'll watch it with you. I'll
Yeah.
watch that movie
Okay.
with you because I've never
Yeah.
seen it, so it'll be interesting.
We can suffer together. But yeah,
'Cause you're gonna be looking at my react.
yep.
Which that was what was funny about the. You're like, look at your face watching that Toxie thing. I think my face was so shocked because of that casual racism he fucking lightly underhanded right before he sizzled that bitch's face off.
Yep.
And then I'm like, gee, he's like just slowly pulling it down, and she's just no. Like, it's like Toxic Avenger. Like everyone loves you, but they still had to throw some. There just had to be some little bit of fucking. It's crazy, but anyways, yeah.
All right. Let me
I
know
didn't have
when
any
you're-
popcorn, so I got my hot Cheetos puffs
Play my hot
available at your
Cheetos
local
with
retailer.
Mortal Kombat 95. That's a perfect combo.
The net, I mean, pretty close to the. I don't know. Maybe looking back on it, that Johnny Cage fight might have been better. Honestly,
Yeah. It's pretty good. And I mean,
Damn.
there's a lot more build
what I
up
mean?
to it because Reptile just turns into a green ninja and starts fighting him while Johnny Cage is kind of like chilling out there. It would have been kind of cool
Yeah.
if they included Johnny Cage in it and be like Reptile is like taking on those two dudes and giving them a good fight.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, because it literally was pretty much just like 1-on-1 the whole time.
So what do you think watching it again after 15 years in full? Does it live up to how you remember it, or?
I mean, I still think I mean, honestly, looking back on it with today's eyes, it still is the best video game adaptation of that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a thing like I don't know if you would call it executive meddling or whatever, but it's like sometimes these video games are already awesome. Like, and then we got to do something, it's like Super Mario Brothers, classic example. It's like you have a plumber from New York running around quaffing mushrooms, riding dinosaurs in a fucking fairy tale land to rescue a princess from a fire-breathing king and some turtles. What the fuck more do you need? Oh, we gotta fucking get their boots are special and they use oh, and Goombas are reptile people with small fucking chimpy heads and shit. Like what? You know what? That's what I mean. Like they would fuck with shit, and they still did it in this movie. I mean,
Yeah.
that it's just look, because I think I understand the point was it can't be just exactly like Enter the Dragon. Mortal Kombat exists because, like we said, Enter the Dragon, Big Trouble in Little China, other movies. But that's literally, I mean, the very first fight stage on Mortal Kombat 1 may as well be the entire backdrop of Enter the Dragon, because there's all those monks sitting there in a row. They all clap after the end of a fight.
Yeah.
Just like they do every time somebody scores a point and Enter the Dragon, and then they're all wearing the same, and there's row in the sand, the beach, all that shit. So, and it's, but that was, it was a tournament, but he was a spy and he had to find out who killed his sister and shit. But you're already borrowing with Liu Kang. It was just, I don't even remember what his canonical story. If we're going strictly from like Mortal Kombat 1 storyline or whatever, he was a member of like the White Lotus Monk Society or something. It was some name like that. And he just had to, his whole reason for entering the tournament was just to fight Shang Tsung because he was evil, I'm pretty sure. Like it was just good versus, Sonya Blade was the same, but it was, you could have just kept it a fucking tournament. You could have kept, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Here's kind of another point too I just had. This is almost like, since this movie came out, they were probably writing it when Mortal Kombat 2 came out. This is like Mortal Kombat 1.5. Because, Katana, Shao Kahn, they're not even mentioned in fucking Mortal Kombat 1. They don't exist. That's all, Mortal Kombat 2 had to retcon a lot of shit, but they still, tried to, because Jax was not mentioned at all in the first. I think they might have been trying to make Jax in Mortal Kombat 1, but that would have had nothing to do with the movie. Like, I just think he had been like crafted or created already or whatever. But hitting on that point you said, like they got to jam everybody in there in 90 minutes. But here's the other thing. You remember how many playable characters was in Mortal Kombat 1, Wes? 7.
Yeah.
So you could have just, we didn't need Shao Kahn and Katana. And again, I understand why. It's because I imagine they were writing this shit, or they had the script, and Midway or, Ed Boon or whoever they were asking probably may have asked specifically for certain things to be in the movie. Like, I don't know.
Well, Mortal Kombat 2, the arcade, came out in 93. So that's 2 years before this. So they probably had, I would imagine this didn't have like a long post-production, and the game was out for a while, maybe.
I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat 2 came out in 93. I thought it came out in 94.
93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
I just looked to make sure.
Well, okay. I wonder. Then I don't. Then it's kind of weird that it, the mixing, I guess, of a little bit. They took just very small elements from part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Set up a sequel in a way.
Right. But I still think they hit all the notes. You had fucking Goro in there, and I memed on the face, and I stand by that. But the animatronic was good. And yeah, like you said, it kept breaking down all the time and shit. But to get some of the shots they actually got was pretty good.
I know. It was like impressive.
I don't remember all that fucking ox giving birth, like you would like to call it in certain games, fucking screaming that he kept doing. Jesus Christ, fuck. It's like, it's half the reason I can't even watch A Christmas Story anymore. Like, that used to be one of my favorite movies watching. But then when you get older, it's like 45 minutes of kids screaming like little girls. Like, There's so much little girl sound and screaming going on in that fucking movie while this whimsical music plays in the background. It's just kind of like, God fucking damn. Is
I
this the part?
honestly kind of like that because it's so realistic. Because that's how kids
It's
actually sound.
realistic, but it's realistic, but it gets old and almost like it's like fucking nails on a chalkboard, you know. And that's kind of how that was there. It's like I can listen to like something like I'm not, but I would be able to listen to like a smoke alarm that's battery life is out where it just goes beeps all the time more than I could hear this guy going fucking dumb. And then like it kind of sucks that Sonya Blade was still kind of mostly eye candy. We knew that. She's got a fight. It wasn't a big fight, but she was also the only one that kind of for real got a hands-on fatality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She snapped dude's neck straight up. Bad bitch, because Cage just kicked fucking and that's also bullshit and cheating because you can't do fatalities to Goro. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. You can't kick Goro in the pit. You don't fight Goro in the pit, so that's bullshit. They took some goddamn liberation there, or liberties, I should say. I don't know. What do you think? I've rambled on enough about it.
Well, I kind of think of this at the time it was made because I mean, video games now are like so mainstream, and when this was made, they were pretty niche. They're for kids, you know. This is a movie made for teenagers, you know. So I kind of see a lot of the limitations script wise compared to the lore of the game. I understand a lot of that, but it still kind of bothers me. You turn Scorpion and Sub-Zero into henchmen. Like I don't really like that. I never did.
Let me make this point to you, Wes. Watching it again like this, and we were watching it together, like it still hit all the same. Like I can see every part why when I was a kid, we was kids or 12 years old or however it was, we was watching this in the theaters. Like, I mean, it did, like, literally everything there was awesome as shit, because you're not paying attention to nuance when you're a kid. You're not paying attention to what's a character's motivation. You know exactly why the bitch is wearing a leather dress and no fucking shoes, because they're trying to get your little ass to get a chubbly hard on, so you want to fuck her. And then you'll buy the next game, you know what I mean? But that's why they put women in any fucking movie before last year, you know what I mean? It was just eye candy. Like, you know, it's the damsel in distress, which is why new property, like, I made that joke before. That's why Vernon's the one that gets kidnapped in Shredder's Revenge, because you can't kidnap girls anymore. Girl power, right?
Yeah.
So it's, you know, but okay, well, I mean, it makes sense. It doesn't matter, but still. And then, you know, so I should have probably made that point too. Like this definitely is a kid, like a teenager or a kid. Like, I could probably see myself thinking it was kind of rebellious to watch this movie, because I think we were not quite teenagers yet when this came out. Fuck, I mean,
we were like 13. I think we were both.
We may have just became, I mean, we were still, but fuck, the 80s didn't end until 1992. Oh, no, but the point you said about, being being in that frame of mind. Yeah, it's, I can definitely see. I looking at it as an adult, it's easy to pick those flaws out and like the nuances and stuff. Like you're not paying attention to any of that stuff when you're a kid. You're just seeing, you know, the girl in the dress, and you're seeing the you know, the Liu Kang. It's very easy bread and butter stories. Like, oh, Liu Kang wants to save his kid brother. How many kids had a kid brother? Like, I'd do that I'd kill Shang Tsung for my brother. Yeah, I get that, you know. So it honestly does make a lot of sense what you said there.
Yeah, and that's the view I'm looking at it, because a lot of you gotta look at it the time it was made, and I mean, there's some stuff that bothers me, but I mean, this was great compared to Super Mario Brothers, Double Dragon, whatever else came out that was a video game adaptation. It actually took, even with all the liberties it took, it was more dedicated to the source material than any of those other movies that came before it, those video game adaptations, because they didn't take them seriously, and they actually seem to take this kind of seriously, but you have to see it at the economic standpoint as well. It's like, we can't make it bloody like the game, because adults don't fucking play Mortal Kombat at this time, right? we're all
Yeah.
adults now. Everyone grew up with Mortal Kombat. Video games are mainstream. You can make an R-rated Mortal Kombat now, and
Yeah.
I understand the limitations with this movie. So I'll give it a ton of credit for that. I'll give it credit for
Oh, for
actually
sure.
having
Yeah.
good fight choreography. It's not like people play pretending karate. They have Robin Shu, who's actual martial artist, and even like the people who aren't martial artists, it looks like they did some training to put on some fights and stuff. So,
Yeah.
like a ton of credit with all that. And, um, oh, who's the actor who played Shang Tsung? Carrie something.
Carrie, and then he's got a hyphenated Japanese last name. I
Yeah,
always
he Carrie
oh,
Hiroyuki
Carrie
Tagawa.
Hiroyuki Tagawa. Yeah. Carrie
Yeah,
Hiroyuki Tagawa. Yeah, that's it.
he is fucking awesome in this movie. He knows what he's in. He's fucking hamming it
Hmm.
up, and I love it. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh
his
yeah.
facial expressions. It's just
Yeah.
they should have an Academy Award themselves. Just the way he
Yeah.
contorted his fucking face and everything. Like I don't think I appreciated that when I first watched it, but watching it now, I'm like, oh, this guy, he's kind of like he's taking it like Raul Julia as M Bison in Street
Yeah.
Fighter. Like he's
Yeah.
just he
Yeah.
knows the type of fucking movie he's in, and he's just having fun with it. And he's like probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
But if I was to give it an adult 40 plus year old West score, I would probably give it a 3 out of 5. Like I think that it's just above average for me, but just just growing up with it, seeing the movies that were out that were video game adaptations at the time, I think it's still a fun movie to watch. It's short. It's like 90 minutes, and
Yeah.
it's nostalgia. It doesn't make me cringe too bad. I mean, there's bad CGI, but this was
No.
1995, so you got to kind of see, this is a movie made for teenagers, and now we have a Mortal Kombat made for us now. So yeah,
Yeah. When you
I still
screen, when
enjoy
you
it.
fucking scrub a film negative, and you can see all the like pixels of it, it's like, well,
Yeah,
yeah, of course it's easy to make fun of that shit then, but then it's like, still they had to have, that still took a lot of work.
exactly. Yeah, and that was pretty cutting edge then. I'm like, we didn't say, oh, what the fuck, this looks like shit. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And but you get kind of uh to this point where everything, well, CGI, there's some CGI still looks like shit, but there's some that looks pretty incredible too. So
Yeah.
but the Goro thing made up for it. The animatronic they got for Goro, it's like I can kind of look past the shitty looking
Yeah.
reptile CGI thing. Like that thing looked pretty sick, even by today's
I'm
standards,
always
I think.
I'm always more of a proponent for, even into like, if Goro is in the new Mortal Kombat movie, I hope he looks good. I don't know if he's in it. Is he in the new Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah, he's in it. It's CGI. I don't think it looks as good as this Goro. I mean, this Goro has limitations. You could tell he's like,
Yeah, well, of course, yeah.
oh, like that. He
Yeah.
can't move very much, but he looks great. And I never thought Goro looked terrible in the new Mortal Kombat, but he CGI and it didn't like stand out to me. Like this
Right.
looks fantastic, So it's like,
Gotcha.
it's a
Yeah.
CGI Goro.
It's
I get it.
Goro.
But to me, I think the perfect mix people should just try to get now is just like a little bit of costume and hide the shitty parts with CGI. And that
Yeah.
would look incredible. But that's me.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
I don't pay the budget for these movies, so I don't get a
Yeah.
say, but that's just my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think
Yeah, I
of it
think
now
young
with
me
your
would have definitely given it probably young me would definitely probably give it like, I would think a 3.5 or maybe even a 4. This is young me.
Mhm.
Me now probably would be a 3, maybe a 3.5. I still think
Mhm.
I would, I'd show my grandkid this movie. He gets old enough, if
Oh yeah.
anything, like, God, this looks bad. It's like, yeah, I know, but it was still pretty cool. He might like the music, what I mean? Fuck, that kind of music is back in
They
vogue now, so it's like,
they still play that fucking music. Like 10 years ago I went to like a laser tag thing, Mortal Kombat played, and I still hear it
oh
every once in a
God.
while. It's just that iconic, and I think it's like some it I think it was like nominated for a Grammy or something, but which is pretty wild. Like And EDM wasn't even like really a thing then. I don't think. I think this is like kind of like the
It
movie that kind
was.
of
It
kicked it
just
off.
wasn't
It
as.
wasn't
It
mainstream.
just was. Yeah, it wasn't mainstream. It was a lot bigger in like the UK and places like that. Because like
Okay.
the Prodigy was like making that kind of music in like 1990 and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like mostly kind of a European thing. And then, dude, well, yeah, because that song came from the fucking Mortal Monday commercial. Like it was literally written for that commercial, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
And then it came to remember, and then I'm pretty sure, or I could be wrong. I might be wrong about that. I know that the soundtrack was a big fucking deal. Like everybody owned the soundtrack. And then yeah, and then there's a lot of, I think the soundtrack has songs that weren't in the movie. I'm not sure. I didn't own the soundtrack, but I knew a lot of people that had it. And I think some of the music is from like artists. Hell, there might be a Prodigy song on there. I don't know. But yeah, it's iconic for that. But I mean, yeah, it's a movie I would watch again. You know, fucking nothing else going on. Hey, let's watch a bunch of, you know, cheap fight
If
movies or
they
something.
if they released an Arrow video version of this, would you get it?
If it didn't come with Annihilation, I only want this movie. I don't want to
Yeah.
buy a package
Like,
of movies I'm not going to watch.
yeah,
Yeah, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
You
I
getting
wouldn't
that
have got.
Spawn?
I, I'm thinking about it. I mean,
Mm.
because Spawn's a shittier movie than this, but here's why it's shitty. Just a tiny small tangent, because we need to watch this at some point.
Yeah, yeah,
Michael
I
Jai
agree.
White carries this movie so fucking hard, and so does so does Martin Sheen. They carry this movie. Well, I mean, look, okay, and then John Leguizamo carries it fucking hard too. But
Yeah.
the story is just so fucking. It's like they tried to shove the first 50 comics into a 90-minute movie or some shit. Like I don't even like Mala just some random fucking like, and then I don't know it's so weird, but it's like that's one of those things where it's like you could, but maybe you didn't stop to ask yourself if you should.
Yeah.
If you weren't gonna make a rated R Spawn, if you weren't gonna make the movie anything like the HBO cartoon or the comic book, where he's like hanging fucking pedophiles up by chains and shit and fucking scrawling poems into their goddamn chests. Haha, look what I did to this pedophile, which is kind of what some shit I wish some people be doing right now to some motherfuckers. But anyways, that's beside the point. Like, but then it's like, let's make a movie and I'm rescuing an orphan and shit, and I'm a bum, and it's just, and then he learns how to use his chains in a 30-second throwaway scene, and in the goddamn cape. They tried to make the cape for real, and they was like, it's just too, yeah, no fucking shit. You could have, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, look at the source material. The cape is never drawn the same fucking way twice. Let's just throw a glob of nail polish looking shit on there. That'll look good. You know what I mean? But the character perform, those motherfuckers tried. That's why I like. And I didn't hate the costume. I thought the costume was fine. But yeah, I
um,
mean, it was just, that was when CGI was fucking exploding.
yeah.
It's like, let's just do everything.
Well, in like Mortal Kombat, you got to see it like economically, where it's like, who's reading Spawn comics? Teenagers. I mean, adults really weren't reading Spawn comics, and it's like, well, we got to make it
Right.
PG-13. You can't rip apart a pedophile with his chains. So
Yeah.
but if you want that, you can get the lower budget version on HBO, the cartoon. We don't have to
Yeah.
do millions of dollars of CGI in that. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
one we
And
should
that was
probably
really
watch.
mostly that was just honestly the reason that movie got made was because Todd McFarlane's ego was unchecked and he just threw a bunch of money at some people that wouldn't say no. That's
Yeah.
kind of really
Mm-hmm.
what happened. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why that movie fucking sucked. Like if we're being, I would have to read up some more about it, but like, I mean, I bought every issue of Spawn, and he would always have like the mailbag, or Todd would always write some write up in the back of every issue of Spawn, and
Mm-hmm.
during the whole filming of that movie and stuff, it was I mean, he was glazing himself pretty fucking hard. I remember, like I'd have to go back and try to see some of that shit. I wish I could find, dude. I had Spawn 1 mint condition, the Spawn Bible, which is like that Spawn Bible apparently is like one of the most expensive Spawn pieces of material you can get. And I had that. It wasn't in great condition because I read it all the fucking time, but I had Spawn 100 and I had Spawn 150.
What you
I had
need to
like all
do
the
is
milestone ones, and then I don't know what the fuck I did.
what you need to do is get that Spawn license plate back on your new whip. Spawn 82.
Yeah, I know. I just I just transferred my, and that was my last choice too. That's what always would happen to me because you had to pick 3 for your vanity. I remember that, and
Yeah.
I don't even remember what my first 2 choices were, but then it got that one. It's like, okay, fine, but it worked. It was memorable.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, we
Fucking
liked
Spawnmobile, dude. What's up?
we both still like Mortal Kombat. I'm thinking next time we watch Beastmaster because I'm kind of wanting to see the Beastmaster movies before that new Beastmaster comes out. So, are you down for that?
We can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
sounds like a
I've
plan.
never seen them, and I'm not gonna watch them until we watch them together. So,
I haven't watched the first one since the early 90s, bro, so I barely remember anything about it.
yeah, but it's only like an hour and 20 minutes, so it should be pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, it'd be a good time.
yeah, I guess that's it. I liked Mortal Kombat still. I'm glad I watched it again. Maybe when closer to the release next year for the next Mortal Kombat, we can check out the Annihilation, the absolutely dog shit one.